Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Sweet Tea's Journey, episode 3. So, I left off last week or 2 weeks ago about the first cycle and how it affected me, as well as the new Leicester shot that happens right after that cycle. So, the cycle was scheduled for every 3 weeks. So, the first week after the first cycle, I was very fatigued, very tired, um, very nauseated, dry mouth. Also, my taste buds changed. Everything just tastes very thick and bland. I didn't have the metal taste throughout this whole cycle, but everything just tastes, very thick and bland. The second week, I felt like I was getting to myself. Like everything was feeling normal, everything was feeling better. And then the third week, I would go see the oncologist, and that day I'll be scheduled for the next cycle. So I'm scheduled for cycle 2. I go in, a direct admit, of course, from the doctor's office to the hospital. Now I know what to pack. I know to pack um, short sleeves, tank tops, anything that you feel comfortable in, because you'll be in the hospital for 5 days. During the cycle, the second cycle, I go in, I get admitted, process all over again. I get admitted. In my second cycle, they insert a Metaport. They insert the Metaport. They use the Metaport. It wasn't a bad procedure. I was actually awake doing that procedure. They give you something to, make you calm, but you don't feel anything. And the staff that I had that actually put in the staff that I had that actually put in the port were very knowledgeable of the port. They also, were very kind, very sweet. They made the atmosphere very relaxing. So they put in the Metaport, and I started the second cycle. I must say that in between the first cycle and the second cycle, they left the PICC line in after the first cycle, and I had to go back into the hospital because they thought maybe the PICC line had given me an infection, because I was running 103 temp and I could not get it down no matter what I took. If I took Tylenol, ibuprofen, I could not get that fever down. So my oncologist suggested, that I go to the hospital and have the PICC line removed. Now back to the second cycle. So they put in the port, easy access, ready to run the chemo. So we run the chemo the entire 5 days. During chemo in the hospital, I actually felt good. Like, I didn't feel like anything was going on. Like, I was able to walk around the room, walk around the hospital, of course with a mask on. Had visitors. Like, it was a very, like, normal, I guess, day. The regular energy that I would normally have, that is the energy that I had during that second cycle. I can tell you about the fourth or fifth day of that second cycle, my knees would tend to swell and become very stiff for some odd reason. So I dealt with that throughout the cycle, just having stiff knees and, very swollen. Joints were swollen. So it was something that I endured during the second cycle. The second cycle was a little better than the first cycle, and I think with the second cycle it was more anticipation. I didn't know what to expect during these cycles. Your oncologists tell you to expect nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, of course, the regular side effects to any medicine. That's what you can expect. Also, because the chemo was so potent, they would have to continuously monitor vital signs, as well as me being on high doses of steroids. They will also have to monitor blood sugars and blood pressures. Now, I will tell you that my blood pressure was elevated during this time, as well as my blood sugars. One of my blood sugars actually got up into the 400s. I am not a diabetic by no means. But I will tell you that chemo did a number on my body. Steroids did a number on my body, but I will go into details as I continue these episodes, as well as telling you about my cycles. So second cycle was, a breeze. It wasn't as bad. I knew what to expect. I knew what I was going into during that second cycle. So every bag on the second cycle, I prayed over. I prayed over every bag, every steroid, every pill, every water, whatever that was given to me that I had to take by mouth. I prayed. I prayed before they put it in the port. I prayed before they even made the first incision. So I just say that during these cycles, always think positive. Know that God has you on his mind. Know that he chose you for this battle. It may not be easy while you're going through, but it will be necessary.